Hello, hello. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks, and we're going to talk Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 15, Episode 13, Peach Passion. If you're brand new to the channel, I break down TV shows, both scripted and reality, interjecting my own thoughts, opinions, and theories into each and every recap. So, if y'all enjoy that type of content, hit that subscribe button for me. Thumbs up the video if you enjoy it. Comment section, lock in how you felt about the episode, all right? So it starts off with a montage of pre-Christmas footage. So we see Sanya and Ross outside playing soccer with dudes. We see Marlo prepping some Christmas pictures with her nephews. They looked really nice. The pictures looked really nice. While they're doing that, Marlo's asking, "What are we gonna have for dinner? What do you guys want? What are we gonna do for Christmas?" I think the oldest one's name is William. He was like, "Well, why don't we have Chef Scotley come over?" Marlo said, "The fuck?" No. So Marlo does not want Chef Scotley around her nephews until they've been, rocking for about a year, and I can respect that about her. I feel like more people need to use better discernment when it comes to having who they're dating around their kids. So no problem with that. We then see Kandi and Todd. So they're talking about this movie, Hall Pass. And Todd is saying how he messed up and he gave Manetta Tay's role or Tay Manetta's role, something. Kandi is like, it's cool. Okay, we can have friends in, but let's make sure they can actually act. Let's not just go on and throw everybody up in there because we cool with them. Y'all got some friends that can act. Y'all got some. Kenya been acting. Asking. Kenya been acting. Kenya has been asking to be in that movie. So find some people that can really act. Don't bring down the value of the movie, of the production, to because booking your friends is probably cheaper. So we get to Sanya. So she's talking to her sister about Portugal and the sound bath. Her sister always looked like she got an attitude. Shaz is never in a good mood. And I get it. They're going through a very stressful period, but your sister don't want to be on camera, Sonya. That's what I get from it. I don't think she wants to be on camera, and I feel like you should stop trying to have her on camera. So her sister she's like, so, but how are you? What's going on? Her sister gives this dry ass, passive aggressive response, trying to make it, keeping my head above water, trying to, survive under these circumstances. Survive? I can't stand a dramatic person. and while, and it's not to take away from their situation, okay? Do I think that their situation that they're in is probably stressful? Yeah, it probably is. But girl, you are not trying to survive under circumstances, okay? Ross and Sonya are not gonna put y'all out before y'all have like an actual place and y'all are comfortable and y'all are ready to move. So don't do that. So Sonya gets emotional and she says that she feels like her sister is not a part of these like major moments in her life. We should have known Sonya was pregnant the way that she's overly emotional about everything the past couple episodes. So she's like, even at my Mommy Nation brunch, you weren't even in the back of the room, you left. And her sister said, look, I'm not just your baby sister anymore. I've always been your rock. I've always been your go-to. I've always been like a staple in your life. But I'm grown now. I'm married. I have a son. I have a business. I have responsibilities. Like, I can't be everything that you want me to be anymore because I got my own stuff. On top of the fact that you don't respect my boundaries. So her sister has said, and we've seen her sister say it a couple of times, that she will put in place a boundary for Sonya. Sonya respects the boundary in that moment and then reverts back to it being the Sonya show. And because Sonya is the star of the family, she is the breadwinner of the family. She is everybody's, or at least was everybody's meal ticket. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get out of that mode of everybody pampering me and doing everything for me because, I'm keeping y'all, laced in Gucci and gold. Remember loving basketball? So Science says she's going to try to. She's trying to work this out. I feel like this is going to forever be a dynamic with them until Sonya sees her sister as just her sister and not an employee. Now, I'm not saying you got to fire your sister from doing your hair, but there has to be something that changes so that it wakes it up for you to be able to find that boundary and draw that line in the sand. So we get over to Kandi. Kandi is walking into Blaze, and Cynthia's back. So Cynthia's back, and with a confessional at that. So Cynthia's back. She's meeting up with Kandi. She's talking about how she's rebuilding her life. Y'all know that Cynthia and Mike Williams got divorced. I don't think it was messy, but it was more shocking for everybody. So they got a divorce. She don't really want to get back into it, but she is going to be in Atlanta more, back at Lake Bailey. She's, disappointed that this is her second divorce. Cynthia was like, shoot, I'm 55. Like, And, some people are just, they love love. And Cynthia is one of those people that she loves love. And I wouldn't be surprised if Cynthia got married again. I wouldn't. I can definitely see Cynthia at 60, 62 years old getting married a third time and then that being her forever, her forever love. So, but Cynthia's like, I don't want to talk about it with me. Let's talk about what's going on with y'all. Kandi feels I done got into it with everybody but Kenya. Everybody. And we get these clips of Kandi having at least a back and forth with literally everybody but Kenya. So Kandi explains how during the party, okay, or after the trip, after the dinner on the trip, they had like a little pajama party. During that, they were, just having some girl talk, and it came out, the question came up as if you've ever kissed a girl, because Drew is going to be in that movie, and Drew is going to be the doe-eyed wife that gets turned out. Drew said she didn't. Kandi is like, yes, you did. You kissed LaToya. And it has, ballooned from there. Now, Cynthia is like, I was so drunk. It was a lot going on. I had gone to bed. I don't remember what happened. AKA, Cynthia said, don't involve me in the book. Cynthia don't want to be involved in the mess whatsoever, right? So Kandi is explaining this, and she's now wondering, where her relationship stands with Drew. So are we still cool? I don't know. She's gonna be in the movie still. I don't know. It's a lot. So Cynthia said, well, shoot, you need somebody to fill in. I'm here. I'm available. I'll do it. I was like, Cynthia. Cynthia, I guess, has been trying to do her little acting or whatever. I watched half of the speak on it with Kandi and Cynthia from this past episode. And Cynthia, I guess, has been trying to get more into acting. And, a lot of people caused a big ruckus that the scenes that Cynthia shot with Kenya were cut, when in all actuality, they were never supposed to be in the show anyways, because Kenya was filming her commercial and Cynthia just so happened to be next door filming something for BET, and she just came over to surprise Kenya. So the surprise that we got was a very genuine reaction. So I don't know why they used it in the promo if they weren't going to include it in the actual show. But I saw some people that were saying they're phasing out Kenya. That's why they're cutting her scenes. Kenya ain't going nowhere. They're not gonna get rid of Kenya. Kenya is, for all intents and purposes, the villain of the show. Kenya Moore hair care is not leaving the show. Y'all ain't got to worry about that. So we then get over to Kenya. So Kenya's babysitting her little cousin. Y'all know Kenya wants another baby. And I think Kenya has now come around to the idea of, at 52, I can't probably carry this child to full term without, it's too much of a risk. I guess her pregnancy with Brooklyn was extremely hard. The delivery was crazy. She wants to be around for Brooklyn and for the new baby. So we have Brooklyn playing with the baby, and we get a confessional where Brooklyn is like, I want two babies. I need one baby that's my age We gonna have bunk beds. Mama, you gonna glue them together, okay? Glue them, stack them like this. Brooklyn knows what she wants, okay? She need a baby that's like her age, and then like another one that can just, be over there. But Brooklyn wants a playmate. That's what that's about. But then we see a flashback of Kenya holding the little baby boy who was so cute, and Brooklyn kind of like getting jealous. So Kenya might have to start, if Kenya is going to incorporate bringing this baby around or incorporate the idea of getting another baby, whether through surrogacy or adoption or however she wants to do it, um, she's gonna have to, work with Brooklyn a little more to let her know that the family is just growing. You're not getting replaced. And I feel like that, I'm the youngest child, so I don't know how that works. But I feel like that happens, once, parents start bringing more kids into the family. There's always a little bit of jealousy, always. Because they're used to, Brooklyn is used to having Kenya all to herself. So when you bring another baby into the fold, she's gonna feel a way about it. That's natural. We then get Drew. Drew is with a different assistant. Y'all know Drew got 5,100 assistants. Every time we see Drew, Drew has different people around her and working for her. Y'all don't think that's odd? I think that's just a very chaotic way to do business. Because I feel like, aren't you always like training somebody? Aren't you always having to teach somebody something? Because it's not like the same people. Nonetheless, this a new assistant that's like this older man, it's whatever, and her stylists are going to help her get her closet together. Now they want to work on Ralph's side of the closet, and she's like, no, we're just here, we only got you booked long enough to do my side of the closet. So Ralph comes up and she's telling Ralph about Kandi saying that she kissed LaToya. I don't know why this is a big deal. I don't know why Kandi is dragging this. I don't know. I just don't know why this is a big deal. But Ralph is like, it's not a big deal. He doesn't, see, he don't care. And it's probably because they were already headed towards divorce. So he just, I'm just here so I don't get fined type shit. So Drew is recanting the entire situation, and she feels that Courtney is no longer cousin Courtney. Now she's just Courtney because she didn't feel like Courtney had her back or Ralph. Ralph looked like he just didn't care. He looked like he just did not care to be in that scene whatsoever. We then get over to Marlo. Marlo's talking to somebody on her team. That was that her life coach or something. But she's talking to them, and she's saying how, things are going good with Scotley. I think it was like her assistant or her manager, because she's like outlining everything that Marlo has coming up. You got to do this, you got to do that, you got this engagement. We're going to this event. I'm your plus one to this one because it's like working. We got to do some stuff, so Scotley can't come. Marlo then says, speaking of Scotley, I mean, Scotley's cool, but he goes out a lot, and I don't want my husband to be out in the clubs like that or out on the scene. And she was like, your husband? Marlo was like, I didn't say husband. Yes, you did. You said it. But basically, Marlo, it's like she doesn't want to date somebody that's constantly out on the scene kicking it. This lady, her friend that was there reminds her that's his job. You know what I'm saying? He owns a restaurant that's like very loungy. So like that's his job, to be out and about doing that type of stuff. People that own like bars and lounges and stuff like that, they're out really to kind of like research to see how everybody else vibes and what other, environments. So this works at this place. Maybe I can incorporate that to mine. I see people ordering a lot of this particular dish, getting a lot of this particular drink. I hear people getting this, flavor of hookah. So that's kind of how that goes. Like a lot of it is kicking it, but a lot of it is research too. So Marlo is then saying that before she even incorporates Scotley more into her life, she wants to see how he is around his kids. Because before I bring you around my nephews, I want to see how you do with your kids. So then, how people treat their kids, how people treat their parents shows you a lot about how they are going to treat you. Over at the candy factory, Kandi is in the room that she uses for her Amazon stuff, and Sheree shows up, and Sheree's like, "I haven't been here in years." Sheree, I hate when people say stuff like that. I don't know why. Just come in. Why you have to I hate when people say stuff like that. But Sheree comes in and we find out that Sheree got her boobs done again. So I guess she got them done the first time, and she said that they encapsulated, so they got kind of hard. So she went and got them redone, and she reminds us that Martell loves them. Sheree, nobody asked you about Martell. Nobody asked you about Martell. So while Sheree is there, she starts talking to Kandi about Drew and this kiss. And again, this is like what, episode 3. I don't know why we are dragging this, but whatever. So Kandi is saying that, you know what, if me, Kenya, and Marlo, if the 3 of us are all agreeing that the kiss happened, it happened. We're not going to lie about this. Kandi then goes on to say it wasn't passionate. It was just a mwah. It wasn't like they was, all up in it, all up in it. It was just a moi. So she doesn't understand why Drew is kind of dragging this. She said it's not her intent to out anybody or anything like that. But I mean, it kind of is though, Kandi. Not your intent, but it kind of is you outing it because you are dragging it. If she said the kiss didn't happen, move the fuck on from it. Just move on from it. So Sheree is like, well, Drew feels that you were producing. Kandi was like, producing? She done lost her motherfucking mind. I said, right. Because that is the dumbest thing that Drew could have said. So Kandi is like, look, I don't have to produce. I don't have to produce anything for this movie. The movie is Todd's. So it's not even mine to like promote, produce, whatever the case. Sheree then tells her, well, Drew says she cool not even being in it. So now Kandi is like, well, she ain't gotta be in it then. How about that? It don't matter to me either way. We have other friends that can act. And Sheree was like, Kenya. Remember, Kenya wants to be Kenya ain't gonna be in that movie, y'all, okay? Probably not in the capacity that she would want to. So Kandi then says that she's like about to explode. So we got to put this into perspective, into this timeline, right? This is fresh off of when Kandi was filming Escape and SWV, the what was it, the Queens of R&B, that very very intense chaotic show where Kandi found like it was so much infighting within Escape and then fighting with SWV. Like it was a lot going on during that particular time. Kandi's stressed. So to go from one stressful situation to another stressful situation, filming these back-to-back reality shows on top of beefing with one of your bandmates, and one of your bandmates might be stealing from the other while her husband is skimming money off the top allegedly, like doing all of that. Yeah, like damn. Kandi is fed up to the tip top. Ain't no more left in the cup. So it's understandable, completely understandable. So we get to the Peach Social. So Kandi is having this event, which is the main event of the episode. So y'all know Kandi has bedroom Kandi. I didn't realize it had been 10 years. That is crazy. But she has bedroom Kandi, and she's introducing where they're celebrating the 10-year anniversary, and then she's introducing, it's called like the Peach Buzz, I think it was called. And it's like a little peach like vibrator that you just put different places to get your juices going. Okay, so they have it at the Selfie Museum. I love selfie museums. We have so many up here now. I love selfie museums. I just feel like it's just fun. Like if you've never been to a selfie museum, like Google where one is close to you because they are so fun. So while they're there, Kandi's working the room. Everybody comes dressed in like a shade of orange or like a pinkish color, very on theme with a peach, right? So Cynthia shows up. Just bring Cynthia back on the show. I don't think Cynthia wants to be on the show. I feel like the vibe I got from now I didn't finish to speak on it, but the vibe that I got is that Cynthia doesn't necessarily want to come back to the show. But if they were to ask her, I can see Cynthia agreeing to be like a friend of the show type stuff. So Cynthia comes back. We see her and Kenya speak. You know, I haven't watched any of the Ultimate Girls Trip, but during the season that Cynthia was on with Kenya, they fell out. And Cynthia said that it took several months for them to finally get back together. And she talked about it on the Speak on It, how when they fell out, she felt betrayed, she felt hurt, and she just kind of needed her space. Even during that time, though, Kenya would, while giving her the space, would still kind of reach out to her, hoping to, ignite that spark back in their friendship because they were clearly real friends. And they were at Teresa Giudice's wedding and they saw each other, and then that was when Cynthia was like, it's, let's move forward. So now they're back cool. So we see everybody talking, everybody's excited to see Cynthia. Drew shows up and it's awkward because they were just talking about her. Cynthia asks, who ain't on the show, like, we was just talking about you. It's like, Cynthia, why you why you have to say that? So Marlo was at the bar talking to Ralph, and they are toasting to knowing the facts of a story when we address someone. I said, Marlo. I mean, it's a great toast to have, but it then leads to this conversation. Ralph is like, look, I heard that you were talking about me for 2 days straight. That was why I said something. Heard it was a bunch of nasty stuff. Marlo said, no. I said that I work in technology like your husband. But I know, I'm going to give you some grace because you my Aquarius brother. But we know that your wife lies, and you know that your wife lies. And Ralph was just like, she do. We know that Drew lies. We know that Drew lies. Like, I feel like everybody knows that, right? We ain't even got to read. We ain't even got to go through it. Drew lies. We get it. So Marlo and Ralph, I guess, agree to just squash whatever situation, whatever beef they had. Kenya is talking to some of the ladies, saying that she is loving that her and Roy are actually friends. They're not just like sleeping together or whatever the case. They're actual friends. And when you are friends with the person that you're dating, it does make a world of difference. Like, you hear so many people say that their spouse is their best friend. It should be. Their boyfriend or girlfriend is their best friend. Yeah, you want to have that type of friendship with the person that you're laying down with. So LaToya walks in, greets everybody, hugs Kandi, and said, I'm mad at you. Kandi was like, what did I do? Because, in Kandi's mind, she didn't do nothing. So Kandi, LaToya, and Drew go to a separate room to talk. Soon as they walk in, Drew sits on LaToya's lap. What is that like? Okay. Drew, you are vehemently, why can't I say the word? Vehemently? I feel like I'm not saying it right. It's not coming out right. Drew is dead set. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. But Drew is dead set on denying that she kissed Toya. But the first thing you do when y'all are in the same room is sit on this woman's lap. Okay, so they're in there talking, and Don Juan goes to get Marlo. LaToya said that her and Drew have already squashed their beef, right? Marlo comes and they've already squashed their beef, so they don't know why Marlo is sending out videos to amp everything back up. Marlo comes in, starts twerking in front of them, and was like, I thought that's what y'all wanted. Marlo, you know damn well that's not why they went to get you. So Marlo said, look, LaToya, I sent you the video because you talk highly of Drew all the time, and I want you to see how she's talking about you. That's why I sent out the video. Drew then said that the videos were edited. Marlo said, I ain't got time for this bullshit here. Because what I'm not going to do is edit a video. You're a liar. So, what I think Drew means by edit is I think Drew is saying that Marlo probably just sent snippets of the conversation, not the whole thing, probably just the part that would make Drew look the absolute worst or make it look as if she's coming for LaToya in some fashion. Nonetheless, Drew, you said the stuff that you said. Whether Marlo is sending the entire conversation or just the parts which you saying that it didn't happen, it's still what you said. So Kandi then said, oh, before that, Marlo is in her confessional saying that Drew looks 22 on Instagram and then it's a jump scare in person. I feel like at this point, the way that Marlo continually comes for Drew's looks is weird. I feel like if you're gonna read somebody, like, or if you're gonna learn to like go at somebody, you can't revert back to like their looks like a 12-year-old. You know what I mean? And I feel like that, to me, that's part of what keeps Marlo from elevating as a housewife. Like, you always go for the jugular, but in a way that's like, oh, you ugly, you built like a box, like shit like that. Like, why do you keep coming for her weight? Drew doesn't look bad. Drew's not an ugly woman. So I don't know why Marlo does that. It's weird. So Kandi said, look, y'all not gonna sit here and call me a liar. And it's like, Kandi, you the only person that's upset about that because nobody is even believing Drew. That's the thing. Nobody believes Drew. Everybody knows that Drew is lying. If you saw the kiss with your own eyes, Marlo, who is basically your arch nemesis, saw the kiss with her own eyes. Kenya is saying she saw the kiss. Why are you dead set on trying to prove that you're not lying? You ain't got to do all this, Kandi. You don't have to do all this. She then calls out Drew for saying that she was making up this whatever to produce for the movie. Drew then says that Kandi or Drew is just like looking at her and it's like, I do think you're doing that. LaToya said, do you think Kandi is a genuine person? And Drew was like, I do. So LaToya's like, so why in this instance do you think she's lying? So in this moment right here, LaToya is basically confirming they did kiss. And Drew is too stupid to understand that. In this moment, LaToya is in a roundabout way confirming that they did kiss. So Drew then said that Kandi was probably fantasizing about her and LaToya. While this is happening and Marlo goes downstairs, Marlo texts Drew while they at the party and asks her if she kissed LaToya. I don't understand this. I don't understand this. I don't think I'm not part of the group that thinks that the entire cast needs to be revamped. I think the cast is fine as it is. Even though I don't think Marlo should be a housewife or Sonya, I think they would do better as friends of the show. I do think Cynthia will be back in some capacity, and I think a lot of the signs are pointing to Portia coming back. They could really, Marietta and Courtney could really go. Sanya and Marlo can come down as friends of. Bring back Cynthia and Portia, and there you go. There you go. But if they keep the show the same, I feel like it's fine. We just got to get a groove. I think it's some of the editing too that has been very choppy this season. Some of the editing is just kind of all over the place. But I don't think the entire show needs to be revamped. I just don't. But let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.